Okay, charge it. I noticed a very interesting thing last night when I uploaded all the YouTube videos that we are not doing any intro for YouTube. We are just starting the recording and we are like, okay, we are all into the lectures and session. We are not welcoming to anyone.
Yes, I was thinking we must have some introduction. Okay, so what is this video about? So we are running a private coaching session with multiple and multi-talented genius guys with us. And here, this is the module one of learning, and we are answering some questions. So such things can be added in the start so that it can be within a specific context and perspective, so the viewer can understand what they are discussing and why they have started with module one. What is this module one? What this course is going on? So there must be some context or bridge for the new learners or viewers.
Yeah, and this time when I started recording, we are beginning with a joke. Nice welcome for everyone. Algorithmic creatorship by Kahuna. That's an internal joke. I didn't get it. Let's start with, yeah, I think Bazat can do a little intro overview. We are doing the overview, but we are not saying, welcome to our channel. Please watch our video. Thank you.
So we are in our module 3. Today we are going to discuss module 3 of our semantic SEO learning program, very focused. Out of the first 4 theoretical modules, we have reached to the second last for the theoretical foundational strength. The previous session we have discussed first 2 modules. Now on third modules we are going to dive deep into information retrieval and search engine ranking algorithms. Why these two topics we have combined here? Information retrieval is the simplest form of getting information from your website or getting information from any resource available over the internet. This is the first process. First, search engine will retrieve your website, and then, based on the content and context it has understood, it will start its ranking processes. So let's start with the end, with the assumption of each one of you has read all these notes. Today, we are not going to review these notes. Thanks to Germans for preparing these slides. So we are going to present information in an other way. There will be some examples, but the presentation style will be good one, good involvement for the viewer, so you don't feel sleepy with the same Google Doc file. So the truth filter, extracting semantic triple, the algorithmic blueprint. So here are the deep mechanics of information retrieval, cost of retrieval, and ranking states. When we talk about information retrieval, so there is one problem for search engines: resources are scarce. Limitation of resources, they have to spend money in the form of tokens and their resources, so they are very choosy in information retrieval because they want to save their money, they want to save their cost. So let us see search engine anatomy map. Input new document index. So what happens when I published one page on my website? First of all, cost of retrieval. Search engine will start gatekeeping process, computational cost check. Crawlers will come on my website and they will see what is this page about, and then evaluation pipeline. Predictive information retrieval. If you have read, if you have not read the importance of quality thresholds and predictive information retrieval case study from Sarkore, in which he has explained the civil body websites example and the results. you may miss the core concepts of predictive information, initial ranking, and information retrieval concepts. That is a very detailed case study. And to be honest, it took me even 4 to 5 revisions to understand that case study. And I wrote a simplified version of that case study. If you have not read, you can gain some information from that simplified version. So, why information retrieval in prediction form? Why search engine starts predicting instead of fully retrieving the or understanding the full context or the whole content of the page? Because they want to save their cost and they predict based on the initial content of your page whether your page is trustworthy or not. So, based on their existing data, experimental and statistical data, they start presuming, they start predicting if we start ranking this page, whether this will perform well or not. So, in the predictive information retrieval, they start with the statistical and distributional semantics point of view. We will go deeper in the next slide. Then, deep re-ranking. Layer 3 is the truth filter. First, they are satisfied, okay, this page, this content may perform well on the SERP. So, whether it contains the right information or not, whether information on this page is trustworthy, authoritative, or not. So, they start applying knowledge based trust signals or algorithms and to see whether factoids are in accurate position, accurate information is there or not. And then layer 4, the behavioral loop. What is the behavior of searchers who found this result on the sub result, whether they felt click satisfaction from this ranked result or not? So they start noticing or start recording users' behavior for this particular ranked website or ranked page. And then layer 5, architectural setup, signal consolidation versus dilution. So as a whole source, whether it is feasible or suitable for a particular audience or not, whether context has been combined or contextual coverage is enough or sufficiently covered on this website or not. And then output ranking state, positive, negative, in isolation. In a single sentence crux, you can understand that whenever you optimize your website, individual optimized page will not help you. You need to optimize your website as a whole single unit. Then the cost of retrieval. So search engine has explored your website, explored your newly published page. It has to bear computational cost, crawling, rendering, evaluating. Sorry. Whenever a new website is published or new page is published, the implemented algorithms depend on the trustworthiness of that website. If you are publishing a new website, search engine will not implement all algorithms on that website because the newly published website has not established its trust or authoritativeness. So we have a golden saying from the legend Core, the cost of ranking a website cannot be higher than the cost of not ranking it. It simply means you must reduce your website cost of retrieval for search engines so that if they rank your website, you are not a high cost source for them. If you are a high cost source for ranking purpose, search engine will not rank you. Where you provided unique information or satisfaction, so you need to make a balance between your information proposition and their cost of retrieval. If after investing cost of retrieval on your website, they are not going to get trustworthy or the consensus aligned information. They will simply ignore you. High cost or penalty elements, this column, and then high value discount elements, bloated URLs. Bloated URLs in semantic SEO, we are so much concerned about URLs. You know why? Because topic distillation via sub-site retrieval. This is a specific Google patent that explains whenever search engine has to rank a website, search engine starts with topic distillation. Sorry. If you have read chemistry in your educational background, you know distillation. So we have distilled water for some chemicals or grains or whatever distillation concept. So here search engine is trying to distill the main topic of a website and a page. Why they are doing this purpose topic distillation? Because they want to understand. Algorithms are dying to understand the main topic of your website. So to see the topic on your website, to understand what is the overall context, what is the main topic of a source, they start with sub-site retrieval. And sub-site is equal to URL folders. Whatever your folders, URL folders are subdirectories you have created on your website with the help of URL structure. That they start understanding from that. Uh, I am not going in much detail, but just one image will explain all these things. So here they are trying to explain this concept. This is the main website. It has a child page 112, and then that child page has sub-child pages in this form, and then 120 sub-child page has further two sub-child pages. So in a hierarchical URL structure, search engine finds it easy to understand the topic clusters on your website. That's the optimal way of optimizing URL structure and the whole website structure. You can understand this patent if you want to dive deep into this topic, why search engine is doing this, and this patent is from Microsoft Technologies, not from Google. So bloat URLs will increase the cost of retrieval from search engines. You need to provide information density, direct numeric answers, so it is something else. Bloated URLs then technical heavyweights, 900 HTML nodes, and now they have declared that they will not retrieve above 2 MB HTML content. 100 millisecond response, an ideal scenario for CMS based websites. Then textual fluff forces expensive disambiguations. You need to provide information in semantic triples so that search engine can understand the text and it is not bloated with textual fluff. Information redundancy. If you provide repeated information, why they have to consume their resources? High value discount elements, information density. So you provide maximum information with minimum number of words or content. Algorithmic authorship. You structure your factual declarations and opinionated content to satisfy the intent of a query or topic. Then symmetry, consistent themes. Your contextual flow is straight. You are not diluting the context on your page and on your website. And then consolidation, high page rank per URL, and full topic optimization on the website. And next one is evaluation pipeline, predictive information retrieval. So this is the phase search engine is going to interact with the page. Initial ranking zone, low cost. What will happen? They will check URL. It is a path. It is the way to deep see Then title tag. Title tag is the first signal about the context of your page. Main heading sentence, first sentence, the engine predicts quality by scanning only the URL title tag and first subordinate text. And based on research paper, Sarkore has shared this finding. The first 400 characters is the minimum limit of crawler's understanding for first time interaction with a newly published page. So the first 400 characters on your page are the most important ones. You always need to be conscious about the entity attribute pairs in first 400 characters of your page. And then relevance threshold. So on initial ranking zone, they will just see some information retrieval zones. Information retrieval zones are the places on our web page or web document that search engine looks at to save their cost of retrieval. So first they have some indications or some signals from the title tag, H1, URL, and subordinate text, or you can say your intro section. Now they are going to evaluate whether you are providing relevant information or not. Vocabulary matches, distribution, semantics, computational cost will be dependent on all this information, and then deep learning core, high cost. In the initial stage, for newly published pages or websites, search engine is not going to bear the high cost because authority has not been established. New website, no trust signals, no authority signals, no page rank signals. So they are not going to put their high cost algorithms on this page. Only pages that pass the threshold enter re-ranking. If your page or website has passed this relevance threshold, then they will start implementing new algorithms one by one. Then the evaluation matrix, phase one versus phase two. Phase one initial ranking, it is predictive based on quantitative and statistical semantics. So in statistical semantics, what they are doing, they are counting n-grams. They are checking word co-occurrences. They are checking distributional semantics, how words placement is building the overall context. Entity salience score is also a relevant thing, n-grams. And whenever there is a mention of n-grams, I recall Navneet Panda. Whenever you listen to Sarkore's lectures, he always prioritized to focus on individual Google engineers. They have a particular field of thought. For example, each Google engineer has a particular field of work. Navneet Panda, if you remember, in 2013, there was a Panda update. Panda update was to control the spammy backlinks or spammy page rank signals. Navneet Panda is the search engine's engineer who built, who registered two patents for website quality prediction. One is predicting site quality, and the second one is site quality score. These two patents are the most important one to measure the website's quality, ignoring the page rank factor, ignoring the backlinks factor. Site quality score, Google patent. Yes. This patent predicting site quality is based on n-gram analysis. Whenever a new site is available for ranking, search engine try to predict a measure of quality for a site. So what they do in simple sense, they check what n-grams and particular word co-occurrences are available on a page. N-gram means any combination of words that is contextual and meaningful. And it ranges from one word to 5 words. or you can say 5 grams or 5 letters. Why we are using n-gram? Because for algorithms, each word is a gram, each word is a token. So from one single word to 5 words, they evaluate the phrases. They check what n-grams are available on a website, and then they check what n-grams are available on the ranking competing websites. Based on the threshold built from the competitors n-grams, new sites n-grams are tested based on them. So this is the first metric for internal quality of a website. Ignoring all the backlinks effect, Navneet Panda suggested how they can predict a website's quality. That's why Sarkore says more often in the course, you can't be too much unique as compared to your competitors, because to create relevance with the specific competitors cluster, search engines need to evaluate to which source cluster you belong to. So they check competitors' n-grams, and then they evaluate a new website's n-grams, and based on that, they predict a quality score for the new site from the aggregate quality scores. So this is the one signal from website, and the second patent from Navneet Panda is the site quality score. This patent is based on navigational queries, branded queries, determining first set of count of unique queries received by a search engine that are characterized as referring to a particular site. So in the first paragraph in this abstract, they are hesitating to mention branded queries or navigational queries. But afterwards, they mention to be a navigational query where navigation to the particular site. So based on the branded queries, first factor, and then how is the click satisfaction of the ranking results. These two factors are considered to predict to assign a site quality score for a particular site. You can read more about these patents. So they utilize n-grams to understand a website's quality. Then quantitative quantities over meaning matches expected vocabulary clusters. So they match vocabulary through distributional semantics. Because understanding the meaning, they need to understand the meaning or the semantics relevance. They need to implement high cost algorithms. So they are not going to do that for the new websites. So they will just see, okay, these words are available. What context is building from these available word co-occurrences or the n-grams? Then driver, source authority, and page rank. High topical authority bypasses friction. So they depend on the source authority. Somehow backlinks and page ranks, internal linking, link juice transferred among the pages. And then phase two re-ranking, here they are qualitative. Instead of n-grams counting or understanding the word co-occurrences, now they are going to evaluate the meanings and contexts built within the content. And then behavioral means audience behavior, how users are interacting with these ranked results. And the next one method, sentential semantics, evaluating accuracy, consistency, prepositional meaning. Now, after evaluating the overall semantics, now they are checking each sentence. They are checking semantic triples. Knowledge-based trust, I also mentioned last time. Knowledge-based trust full paper suggests that based on the information provided in the semantic triple format, quality signals are labeled to that website. Accuracy. So here is the consensus, whether you are within the truth range or not. Consistency, propositional meaning. Query responsiveness, whether you are fulfilling the needs of a query or not. Functional utility, historical data. So whether in the last 6 months your website was liked and clicked by the users or not. What was the dwell time? So they are measuring the dwell time, and bounce rates are considered seriously. Initial ranking determines your entry point. So whether you are going to rank or not, this is the initial ranking. That's why in semantic SEO, we are so much concerned on the first launch. And now the truth filter, extracting semantic triples. So here we go with the importance of semantic triples. Semantic triples is our basic English language structure: subject, verb, object. Here we call it predicate because when we call it verb, it misses preposition and the helping verb. When we call predicate, it includes helping verb plus preposition and what action it is defining for subject and the object. So this is the research paper knowledge-based trust. It is a phenomena. These are the algorithms that evaluate semantic triples on a website. You can imagine if all the information is divided in three parts. This is subject, this is object, and in the center there is a predicate. So search engine will retrieve information in a systematic way, evaluates a source based on the factual accuracy, not just links. So what happened after 2013 Panda update? Search engines started to see how we can evaluate a website's trustworthiness and authoritativeness without depending on the backlinks. So they started evaluation starting like Navneet Panda introduced, Ngrams evaluation, branded queries evaluation, click satisfaction for navigational queries ranking, and then evaluating semantic triples on a page for factual accuracy, and then verifying claims against a central knowledge base. This central knowledge base means consensus of already ranking websites. We will see example in the next slide. Unique information gain, providing dense, unique facts that fill competitor gaps, increase the document's algorithmic value. Why not discuss our Google patent? Contextual estimation of link information gain. This is a Google patent. I changed my MacBook, that's why the URLs are not saved in this browser. Otherwise, I write one word and it shows the patent. Contextual estimation of link information gain. Link here means a web document ranking on the SERP. Information gain means what new information a link is bringing on the SERP. If you check, and whenever you start reading a Google patent, before abstract, go to this background area. This is the background, like before making a decision, before expressing a decision, what we are going to do. Here they built a story. Why this patent was needed, why this technology they need to build. So here they explain that information redundancy is the biggest problem on the sub results. Users are seeing same information in the new document. So they are saying they want to determine an information gain score for one or more documents of interest to the users. So this patent introduced this technology that they evaluate the ranking websites, they check what information is already available, and they check new candidate page that is available for ranking, and they check whether this page is bringing new information or not. So this is the concept of information gain score, that algorithmic value. If you provide more information and you will see, no, you will watch and listen to Core again and again repeating this unique information concept. So this is why search engines trust and labels a quality signal for the document that is providing new information. These concepts are very detailed and technical. That's why I am putting some more time to explain all these things, and I apologize for that. Global verification entities are language agnostic, so they cross verify in multiple regions and multiple languages to confirm the information. Fuzzy logic and the truth range. Sometimes, what is the minimum level of coffee or caffeine affordability? There is no fixed answer. If I am tired, I will love more caffeine amount. But if I am allergic to caffeine, minimum dose is dangerous for me. So it is a fuzzy logic. No exact right or wrong answer. So here is the concept of safe answer or consensus. Authoritative sources will mention a particular range. So new websites who are not authoritative must be within that consensus range. And now, after leaked documents, there are sources, there are confirmations that consensus is a direct ranking factor. If you are out of consensus, it means you are not providing a safe answer. Search engine will simply ignore you. So factoids are the facts available across the internet, no doubt in that. But the problem is in the fuzzy logic. There is uncertain inference. Google patents and papers mention uncertain inference, no direct to the point answer. Next slide is behavior loop. First step is initial ranking. Search engine predicted some quality. Okay, they interacted with the page and they predicted that this page will work better. Okay, let's try. They started testing the page and website started to see a uh, fall and rise in the DSC graphs. So search engine is testing it for nav boost mechanics to see what is the user's behavior loop for this ranked website, whether users are satisfied with this ranked page or not. Synthetic queries based on log patterns to pre-build indices, and then query context, unicorn clicks, centroid selection. Time is short, and I am recalling individual patterns for individual topics here. Unicorn clicks. Let's move on without patterns. The click weighting model. So they are checking. Let me just share one patent, not more than that. User context. No, no. Context based document ranking. Context based. Context based. Context sensitive. Oh, yes. This is the Google patent, context sensitive document ranking. Google patent. And if you explore this Google patent, you will be surprised. You will be surprised how much history search engine is recording for a searcher. So this is the patent context sensitive ranking. They note the history of a searcher, and based on the context of the previous session, they rank the pages. For example, even they say on which links user has clicked in an email, they will label the session for that context. What authoritative sources search engine user has visited based on the dwell time on which the user has spent the most of his session time, they will record it, and based on that particular context, they will rank the websites. So it is a context sensitive ranking. And by the way, I saw this patent ranking based on reference context. This patent highlights the importance of annotation text around the anchor text. Importance of contextual connections. We don't call it internal linking, we call it contextual connection. We build specific context and then we link the other document. More discussion in the upcoming session. So we are moving towards the query context. They understand it. Then unicorn clicks. They see what expert users are visiting, who are the subject matter experts, and they are visiting these websites and spending time. Centroid means the representative of a cluster. Here is the concept of categorical score. This patent has been expired recently, categorical score, Google patent. But this is very much important to understand categorical quality. Re-ranking resources based on categorical quality, this patent and categorization, no, 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 no. Sir Corey mentioned this patent a lot. This patent says whenever there is a search on a SERP, there are clusters of websites. For example, one cluster is social media websites. One cluster is Google's patents of direct sources. And one cluster is the sources that are explaining this Google patent. So at a time, 3 to 4 clusters are ranking on the SERP. So search engine sees, let's assume on a law related queries, there one cluster is aggregators, 1 or 2 aggregators will be ranking. Then 1 or 2 law firms will be ranking, 1 or 2 social media will be ranking, and 1 or 2 directories will be ranking. So you need to identify which source cluster you belong to, and search engine finds the centroid result from each cluster. So here is that concept. Documents that best satisfy a cluster of queries become centroids. So among the source also and among the whole query network, query cluster. And now next concept is query path. The relevance transfer loop. Whenever user search one topic and visits a website, and after that it searches another related topic for that entity type, those sources are considered as relevant. Sequential queries. So the main concept is sequential queries. Within a one particular session, what a searcher has searched in that particular session. And then authority by proximity based on the semantic closeness or similarity, and then content terminaces. The algorithm's ultimate goal is to identify the final document that perfectly satisfies the end of a user's query path. So the source that covers majority of query path of a particular topic or context wins at the end. And then architectural dilution, it is our second last, no, third last slide. Architectural dilution, the danger of bloat. When your website structure is confused, you are publishing multiple pages for single context or intent. So you are cannibalizing within your own published pages. You publish more than one page for same context. So they will compete by themselves and it will hurt your ranking. Page rank damping. You are giving backlinks only to home page. No page rank transfer to the service pages or your most important pages. So here is the page rank damping. You are not transferring your page rank. No single page retains enough power to outrank authorities. Then quality score drag. High volumes of zero-click pages lower the overall site quality score. So if you have non-performing pages, you need to understand, because search engine sees a website as a whole source. How many pages are important for users? Search engine will calculate a percentage. How much portion of this website is useful for users? Search engine will prefer those pages instead of non-performing pages. So you need to see which pages are not performing for a longer time. You need to prune that content or update. That's why we have content configuration concept in semantic SEO. Now architectural setup, signal consolidation, tested navigation, and URL bloat, consolidation, root documents. So you need to see if there is intent cannibalization on your pages. You need to combine those contexts so that you consolidate instead of dilute. Semantic bridges link information section directly to commercial code nodes to flow gained authority. So the main concept is the search behavior from informational intent to navigational to commercial investigation, and then commercial intent. You need to update user journey on your website, and the whole concept of topical map is based on user journey. You optimize your core section for the end need. You cover all the informational and navigational queries in the outer section. We will see in the next lecture that is going to be about topical map. We will see it in detail. And then limit link bloat. So you provide the a bundle of links on a page. So Sir Korea has one saying for that: if you are linking everywhere, you are linking nowhere. You are diluting your page rank. So we need to be wise while internal linking. And then status code, you need to redirect the related pages, related deleted pages. And if a page has permanently deleted, don't redirect it. Mark status code as 410. So it is a signal that this page has been deleted permanently. So search engine will remove it from its database. And then we have the query deserve a page diagnostic. Does this query require a standalone URL? Yes. Okay. So next question is this a distinct macro context with high search demand? Macro context means a particular user query that has enough search volume and has a particular intent from the searcher. No. Okay, treat as a micro context. So it will be a related topic on our page. Make it an H2 section on a broader authoritative document. Is this a distinct macro context with high search demand? Yes. Okay. Are these survival twins, identical intent across product variations? So the whole matter here is understanding the context and the hidden search intent. If two topics have same search intent, obviously they don't need separate pages. We need separate page for distinct macro context with high search demand. In topical map practical sessions, we will do this step rigorously to finalize which topic or query deserves a separate page and which query or topic will be merged with another page. Create dedicated quality node, connect via contextual bridge to home page. Consolidating intent unifies ranking power. Not every keyword deserves a page. Simple rule. Ranking states. So here is the broad pole algorithm update, and we started to see some upward graphs. It was a re-ranking that may be based on multiple factors. In a broad core algorithm update, search engine revisits its knowledge bases and databases to expand with the help of new entities, semantic triples, new queries, new audience clusters. And then algorithmic inertia, daily SEO fixes cannot immediately reverse a negative state. So search engine needs some time to evaluate the whole source. And then after broad core algorithm update, it shows the result, what they have evaluated. And then inheritance, negative states can be inherited during the migrations if the exact source was already penalized. And then next realization, the critical recovery phase. So you start recover from a if you consider this a negative ranking state, but it is not a negative ranking state. Negative ranking state is a downward consistent graph. Then the ranking states, diagnostics, it is the second last one. Positive state, you have momentum of content publishing. Crawl tier, fast indexing, high priority, symptoms is threshold test to gather behavior data for further promotion. Neutral or natural state, flat momentum, no growth, neither decline, neither upward growth. You are going straight. So you are in a neutral or natural state. Negative state is a momentum, continuous downward trajectory. Crawl tier, pages are taking time in indexing. Aggressive cloning to lower retrieval cost and achieve naturalization. Now the master strategy matrix, decrease cost of retrieval, prune bloat, reduce DOM size, utilize predictive zones, consolidate ranking signals, apply query deserve page rules, merge intents, eliminate micro cannibalization, then align with knowledge based trust, nav boost, optimize semantic triples, optimize facts, stay within the truth ranges or consensus, satisfy sequential query paths. Query paths means try to fulfill all the user needs on your website, and then it will be positive ranking state, tier 1 indexing. Search engines assign states to domains, not pages. You can't say you have published two high quality pages, these are not ranking. You need to optimize your whole domain, whole website, master the algorithmic blueprint to make evaluating your site computationally cheap and contextually undeniable. So this is the whole mastery of initial ranking, information retrieval, and search engine ranking algorithms. You can revisit this single infographic from indexing to authority concepts evaluation. I'm not going to explain this infographic. It will take another 15 to 20 minutes. Your questions are there. So if you have any question, that is already here. So Kahuna is here to answer your questions. I will intervene whenever I wish to. Thank you, Kahuna. Now you can start with answering the questions.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. And I now know why Garmans waited for 2 sessions to do this one. The guy is brilliant. I don't want to crack any joke on him right now. Maybe in DMs. Okay, let's take questions. I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, how can we deliver a definitive answer in the first sentence while still maintaining user attention till the end of the page? Uh, First thing, it's about one section, not the complete page. Eventually, when you do all the sections right, you can retain the user attention until the end of the page. For one section, you have to directly answer the exact question. So let's say if the question is what is the definition of friendship or what is contextual coverage, then you directly define that and then eventually go into detail by relying on inquisitive semantics, relying on preceding questions, or uh, relying on different layers under that. You expand on that. For example, you can say what is contextual coverage, then you can say what are like what does it contain, what does it explain, why it's important. If all those things do not deserve their own headings, you can cover those things under your own under that particular heading and basically provide more evidence. Another thing is uh, another thing that you can do is, for example, let's say the heading is benefits, the context is benefits of water, and one of the benefit is there. You explain that benefit and its relation with water in the first few sentences, and then eventually go on and discuss all the evidences to support your particular answer and cover different attributes and connections with it. As Bajad has written here, uh, did someone raise any hand or anything? Yeah, Lulu, go ahead. I don't think we can hear. Lulu,
You can write your message. We are unable to hear you satisfactorily.
yeah, that's better. I can have with my mic.
No
Yes,
problem.
there is. Just type it in. We can look at it. I will move to the next question. Till then, is there an optimal distribution of weighting for internal or external links? The thing is, most important links will go at the top of the article main content. Try not to link too much in the article for internal links. In the main content, rely on the supplementary content. Another thing is you can reduce the weightage of links by giving the headings lower level headings. Like for example, you can link from an H3 to preserve the weightage of the most important link that's going to come later. As Bajad is writing here, no external link. You can only do the linkless connections or linkless references. Like according to X study, X doctor, X researcher, this was the result. But you don't have to link or cite the traditional way to preserve your page rank. Another thing, this will come in detail when we discuss the algorithmic authorship rule, but try to have distance, physical distance between two links, especially in the main content. Do not try to link, within the consecutive headings. Plus, do not try to link from the first word of a sentence in the first paragraph either, because we try to build the contextual consolidation before linking. As Bezad explained before in this lecture, annotation text, surrounding text around your particular uh, anchor internal link that matters. And I can open this page quickly to show you as well how to link, how to cite basically. For example, here a study from the American College of Sports Medicine showed that dehydration result in this, and this is the thing. And this also explains your first question as well. For example, improves physical performance, the definition, and then it talks about what it is. Then there is expansion of evidence after this, explaining the evidence and adding more details here, covering different attributes. You can read the answers, and that will help you further. One particular factor that comes in play here is uncertain inference, since you know to you a certain query can mean a certain way. For another group of people who are coming from a different context, they can have different meaning for it. For example, if someone says what is the speed of human, uh, you will give the exact value, the consensus based answer in your first paragraph. Then you will go in detail. For example, for kid, it could be different. For adult, it could be different. For females, it could be different. For old guys, it could be different. For the athletes, it could be different. For the lay person, it could be different. So these are the layers. If they all don't have their enough search demand to mandate adding, you can cover it in the same section. Coming to the next, how to decide when to merge small variations of a page, especially when subtopics overlap a lot. Example in an article, what's Bitcoin? I might talk about its history performance, but at the same time, Bitcoin history, Bitcoin performance, maybe because that deserves a page. In this case, unfortunately, you have chosen a very inappropriate example. What is Bitcoin is quite too broad, and it will act as a root document. So eventually, these all may deserve their page. even though they reserve their page, you will have the sections in their attributes and then link to those. Based on the source context, obviously you will see what attribute you can decide. Now, just to show you, I think there is another question. There was another question in the chat. Uh, Okay.
Nothing.
Now I'm just looking at an example which Colombo asked. For example, if you have two queries, what you can do simply is Google. That's one way, but that's one of the definitive way you can do. Acute back pain and lower back pain. By the way, it means the same thing, but I'm just showing you the exercise. You will see low back pain. The context is the same. Acute back pain. What causes back pain? Diagnosis treatment is typically gonna revolve around definition, causes, symptoms. Symptoms gonna take uh, more weightage since the users will be searching more for that. Now, if you see, it's causes of lower back pain, acute low back pain. Seems like the same thing to me. So if the context is the same, then you can have one page. If I do a different, what should I do? Different diagnosis, symptoms, no relief. Now, if you see this, once I put relief, it offers a different index. Even though this page may discuss one heading around relief or treatment at the end, but this deserves a different page. It could be home remedies, most probably home remedies gonna be here. Does that help? I don't know. There is no feedback from you guys. How should we
Yes.
differentiate between okay? How should we differentiate between FAQs that belong as on-page sections? Just to add, we will discuss these things in detail in 7 when we discuss the topical authority and we do practical. We will see how to validate each page. There are different methods to that, and how not to basically cannibalize your pages. How should we differentiate between FAQs that belong on one page versus that were standard articles? Same thing, semantic distance and query deserves page criteria, particularly in the context of maximizing visibility in features like people also ask. For that, you have to optimize your subordinate text, which is first paragraph or first few statements under a heading. You have to be direct and exact definitive. And I would ask Bezat to add in this since it probably revolves around one of the patents as well. Do you have anything, Bezat?
Yes. So here the main thing is why we need to give the FAQs in separate FAQ section. The main thing is FAQ that belong as on-page sections. Yes. So on the informational page, FAQs, we we don't need to create a separate FAQ section because sometimes in traditional SEO, what happens, we are not careful about the contextual flow from top to bottom. But in semantic SEO, we are very much concerned with the overall contextual flow and consolidation of context from top to bottom. So wherever a question relates in our page content, we bring it there. We make it H3 or H4, or it is if it deserves H2, we make it H2. So the main thing is to provide information with a particular optimized context. On our commercial pages, when our macro context or the main context of the page is commercial, so we separate the commercial investigation and informational intents in a separate FAQ box. So we don't want to dilute our commercial context on landing pages. That's why we create a separate FAQ section on commercial pages. Visibility feature, like people also ask, actually people also ask questions are not the way we think that we will create FAQ section and then it will be shown in the people also ask. No, more than 50% people also ask questions are the rewritten user queries. Rewritten user queries based on Google patent query templates and another Google patent that suggests the patent shows the next 8 and the previous 8 user queries on the sub, not 8, 4. 4 queries before this query and 4 queries after this particular search query that the same audience has searched on the sub. Search engine reflects those minimum 8 queries on the sub, some in the bottom as a form of people also search for, and some in the FAQ section, rewritten queries. And to experiment, you can check sometimes whether a FAQ section is available in the ranked page or not. Most of the times, it is not available on the page. So search engine finds a query, rewrite it in the question format, and see what page, which website responds to that question, and then it is ranked there. And now it has started AI overviews in FAQ sections too. I think it satisfies and answers your question.
Okay, let me share my screen again. Lulu, do you have anything to add or ask? She has her hand raised. Okay,
Yes,
can you
but in
define
silent mode.
canonical? Yeah.
Yes, you can
Eh,
continue, please.
is she protesting against us with silence and hand raised? Can you define canonical intent and canonical query? So, canonical intent is basically the dominant intent of that particular query, which also comes out as macro context when you verbalize it for your page. Canonical query is the shortest form of the query which has a meaning. And it also, when you convert this into a question, it becomes a canonical question as well. Then you can deep dive into, for example, let's say child growth, child growth stages, and what are the things that you have to take care for child's growth. That's one. Uh, Another thing is you can say what is the definition of for the canonical question, what is the definition of friendship, then the canonicalized version or different would be like uh, what is the definition of friendship in business, what is the definition of friendship in childhood. You are basically covering different layers, also different variations of it. For example, friendship meaning, what is friendship, all these will also be represented queries as well. And the other example that I gave you with covering different layers, they will be represented questions of the canonical question. Does that help, Columbo? Anything to add? Should I go ahead? Okay. There was a time when I was writing an article, the feature is said to be available in certain regions, but it has been discontinued indefinitely. Should I write the truth, especially if the website is still low authority, or is there a risk of being overridden by safe answers, consensus, despite the incorrect logic? In my experience, this is usually caused by the primary authority being inconsistent with defects across pages. Example, on one page, they say the feature is available, but then in the FAQ, they state that the feature has been discontinued. Okay. Uh, there are two things here. One is being relevant or being in the consensus. But there is also another thing, since sooner or later, search engine has to corroborate to the new fact. So In this case, if you can cite any authority source and give the factual answer, that's going to be better, because you would be among the first of the people who did it and will be considered the right source for that particular information. Again, if it's you can also add one another thing here, like they used to offer in these certain regions, but now they have discontinued. So the logic would be basically giving the direct answer and then adding more layers to it. Yeah, go ahead.
In our health and research-based content, when we mention some authority, for example, one such study says that this particular fruit has this benefit, but an other trial says no, this fruit doesn't have any effect. So in this case, Sir Kore recommends that you mention both perspectives in your content. Mention that based on these authoritative sources, this is the fact, and based on these resources, this is the fact. So this way, in which way consensus goes, you are in a safer end. So you provide a safe answer. Thank you, Kahuna. You can move forward.
Okay. To corroborate a statement in website A, the answer to this is just mentioning. We have shown the example. Don't link to other resources. Do not leak your page rank. Try to consolidate it as much as possible. What click velocity do we need to trigger re-ranking in our niche? If what click velocity do we need to trigger re-ranking in our niche? It's relative. It depends on whether you are in a popular niche or not. If it's too popular, then you might need a lot of clicks to really consider to trigger any re-ranking. If it's a small niche, less amount of it depends on the uh, audience size. If it's too much, just see it from the temporary, the traditional view as well. If you are if you are running a shop in a locality of 100 guys, you will need just 20 to create a popularity for yourself, right? If you are running a shop in a locality of 1,000 or 10,000, then you will need more people to come at your shop and buy something to really uh, get popular and get that breakout. As mentioned in the first 400 characters, we need to cover the page intent or concept. But if page is covering so many topic answer, I mean at least 4 to 5. How to prioritize which one to explain first? Already using TLDR after intro. The thing is, that's why the concept of general summary comes here, using abstractive and extractive summary together. So whatever your website or web page processes throughout the article, you try to create important references of those in your general summary. So by creating the most important n-grams in your general summary, you give the hints, since again it's predictive analysis. It's not going to analyze all your statements right away. It's going to look at the presence of queries, certain n-grams, co-occurrences, and that it will build the co-occurrence metrics from that. So you try to put the most important n-grams in your general summary. That gives the kind of illusion to search engine that yeah, it covers everything, and it it crawls the whole page. But I use the word illusion purposefully, because you can also spam it. Some guys can spam it, and eventually they will also get filtered later on in the re-ranking. But we are not doing spamming, so that's why I use the word illusion. We are not creating an illusion, but still it's predictive, so they think it's right source to crawl and analyze further. I hope that answers the question. Anything to add, Prasad?
No, I think that's enough.
How to check is my website is meeting terminacies? Okay, Can you come on, Mike? Did I miss any resource? Mention terminuses. Yeah, Bazad. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it is the concept that, for example, for a concept, search engine visited two, three websites. And according to this concept, search engine, what was the ultimately satisfying website on which user stayed and the intent was satisfied? Like in affiliate marketing, a person visited three links and bought the product from either first one or the last one. So it will be a approved, agreed policy from the affiliate platform that they consider the first click commission. Who was clicked first in a particular session by a particular IP address will be rewarded. Who was the last one, because the purchasing decision was made from the last link, not from the previous journey. So the commission will be granted to last click or first click. This is the same concept. Which website becomes trustworthy and authoritative and need fulfilling when a user visits more than one website in a particular session? So it depends on which page provides the necessary information, which page fulfills the intent, and click satisfaction signals are produced there. For example, like Sir Corey gave example for click satisfaction for a foreign currency rate website, low stay time on the website is a click satisfaction quality signal. But for an informational page, low stay time on the page is a weak quality signal because intent not satisfied. Some calculator website, the dwell time or the page time must be higher than the normal one because there needs to be some calculation. So based on the query intent, it relates to the query responsiveness. How successfully you have provided or you have satisfied the user's intent. And even you can imagine for each user intent, for each user query, search engine has some records. What are the signals that prove the click satisfaction or the user satisfaction? So you need to respond to your each query on your document comprehensively and satisfactorily so that the dwell time of that particular niche or industry is satisfied as compared to other ranking pages. So this is the concept. I hope it satisfies. Kahuna, you can continue.
Yeah. May I know how to check dwell time? Like how where we can see the particular page dwell time?
Yes,
It's you can use. Yeah, go ahead.
Microsoft Clarity and Google Analytics. These two things, and at the other heat map sources, any other SEO tools that show heat map, then even Microsoft Clarity shows on which section of your page users stayed and how much time it stayed and which elements it interacted. So there are some heat map tools also. You can utilize those to measure the exact user behavior on your pages.
Okay, one last thing that I would say, I think
Yes,
the
please.
perspective that he's coming from is that how to check like whether his website is the one that satisfies the police satisfaction or was responsive or not. Just follow the principles. These are created in a way, the whole framework to become responsive and relevant to your user group. So as long as you do that, it will help even in the queries where functions are required. Uh, you provide the function quality information and you engage your user on your website. That's all that you cannot have a precise value of something. It's since SEO is relative. You cannot find whether user are staying on your website for 4 minutes and what's the amount of time they are staying on your competitor's website. Let's go to the how to find sequential queries to check whether my target audience is searching. Look, one thing is you can brainstorm. You can think using inquisitive semantics and what could be the next question. There is a nice GPT as well. Uh, um, I think Bezat has the link. What's the next question? But again, these are all are just for having the hints. Okay, and another thing is you when we are looking at the query network, when we are doing the content brief, we will have all sorts of queries, including correlative queries, the different queries that are searched within a session or within by a certain group of users that are looking for this similar intent. And based on that, we analyze the whole query network and then build our page. So any specific way I think Bajat can add into it?
Yeah, so I would like to explain it, the process. First of all, there is no direct way to find the query path of your target audience because ultimately we have some sources that suggest, okay, for this topic, these queries has been searched. For example, our SEO tools will show the keywords. So these are the string match. You put one word and they will bring all the related words that include that particular searched word. So from the available query data, try to sort out into user intents. These are the informational keywords or information queries. These are navigational. These are commercial investigation, and these are transactional. So by bifurcating or segregating the available queries, like I have a custom GPT to whom my team provides the list of keywords, 200 to 500 keywords at a time, and then it segregates into the relevant contexts and user intents. And this is one way. And the second way is you take help or brainstorm, like Kahuna suggested. First of all, you try to understand for this topic what may be the informational intent related queries, what would be the navigational intent queries, and then commercial investigation, and then you validate those queries on SERP. Where is the demand, what is the popular search queries, and what are the prominent attributes of your topic. Based on this validation, you will find multiple hints for the user query path. And last but not the least, your search result page is the ultimate suggester. Just build your brain reflexes to understand each word of a search result page. First, master your niche and try to understand each word ranking on the search result. Every word is recommending some particular context. So from sub results pages and the sub results and the FAQ section, people also ask section and people also search for. Only these two are the sections, and not to mention for the commercial investigation queries, there is a particular mid-page box sub feature that shows relevant commercial queries. If it is a price, if product price related query I have searched, it will show from where to buy the product. So it will show the next step queries in that particular sub feature box. So these are the ultimate and the most authentic recommendation for the query path suggestions. Yes, Kamuna.
Let's take the last question. Do we need to add all primary types of lexical relations terms in hypernyms in the start 400 words? Look, it totally depends what you're gonna add uh, in your 400 words. It depends on your content brief. You cannot just say add all the hypernames. If it's just gonna be a general summary, you're not gonna spam everything there. Just make sure it's based on your headings, and then you use your most important n-grams, because based on those n-grams you are already creating your uh, particular heading structure for that content brief. So based on the query network, popularity, demand, and relevance, you choose to represent the most important attributes in your general summary. If you put too many things, probably you will not have all the things in 400 words. Uh, I I I would disagree to what Bezat has said. In root documents, yes, not in all the case, but we will see the attribute filtration method. I don't want to go a lot of details right now because it's not relevant for here. Yes, this one totally fine. Okay, who's at? Yeah, Bezat, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Kahuna, for highlighting the mistake. That's a great one. I was blindly writing that without understanding the nuances. So that's a good way to stop the mistake. In messages, there are some questions in chat box. Kahuna, who muted you?
Myself. Okay.
Okay.
I was saying the questions in the chat. I think I answered all in the chat itself. Do you want to add anything?
Yes, here is a question from Anil. I would like to know when should I use triples only? Only when I am using brand name or entity. So I
When
would
where
like
is
to
it?
answer this question. I would like 606 time. I would like to know when should I use semantic triples. So everything you are providing in your content in prose type format, paragraph form, you need to take care of semantic triples. It is not an option. It is a requirement for search engines, easiest information retrieval and information extraction. So every time, whenever you are providing a sentence, you need to optimize the sentence format with the help of semantic triples, and you need to search on entity salience score. It all depends on what item, what entity you put on your subject place. The whole sentence will be about that entity. Like your thumb and five fingers are under that thumb. So the subject is the biggest part. The subject is the king, and everything else in a sentence is about the king, about the subject. So this presence and this placement in our sentences is the most important one that we must consider. And there is one more question. How long does it take to get authority for the new website? Approximately. Actually, it depends on the competition. If it is a very low competition, local SEO niche, you may become authoritative with exact match domain within 1 month, because the next players are not so much competitive or not so much stronger than you. So you can build authority within weeks or within few months. But when it comes to competitive niches like law, YMYL, or other high CPC niches, then you minimum need at least, or minimum saying, 6 months. From 6 months, you can't expect results earlier than 6 months for competitive niches. So that's why whenever you see Sarkore's good results, there is a long graph systematically. So you need some longer times for authority in competitive niches. Is it possible? Yes, Kahuna, please.
Just one thing to add, especially in local niches, a lot of qualitative algorithms are not being run. So you are still relying a lot on statistical analysis. That's why you can get at the top of the SERP quite easily. Uh, that's the one reason. Again, I would just highlight this thing. Ranking at top does not automatically mean that you are authority there. You need to have a lot of historical data. You are still going to be tested a lot, at least for one broadcast algorithm. Your data will be evaluated, and then it will continue. So it's a state that you have to keep working on, not a state. It's dynamic, it's not static that you got there. You will not have to do anything else. You're going to stay there. Somebody can beat you again, and you can lose it.
So the next question from one of our genius minds is that is it possible to add the patents cited in the course in the resources document? Yes, while making the presentation, the notes for the study material for modules, I added in the first module, in the second module, and sometimes while speaking, while sharing my opinion, then I recall some patents, and sometimes it becomes difficult to add in the resource document, and sometimes because when we intentionally start looking Google patents, then there's a long list for each topic, for each concept. There is some paper or some patent. Next time I will try to add each patent that I mentioned in the resource document along the discussion so that nothing is missed. But there is recording, you can see, and Kahuna's channel is new. It needs more watch hours, so you can watch the recording, and it will be. And I will try my best to include all these Google patents in the video description when I upload the session on my YouTube channel, so that whoever watches this video will find the patent in the description. So if you don't want to watch the video, you can just find the patent from the description and you can do your business. Initial ranking score. So Kahuna's answers are there. Should we delete the zero click pages? Merge with the most relevant page and 301. Yes, Kahuna has answered. Can I check the sub to understand if I should open a document page? Yes, Kahuna has given example. So you have answered all the questions.
There is
Last
one
question
from
from
Lulu.
Lulu.
Yeah,
Yes, go ahead.
you take it. I should go ahead. But
Okay,
what if all our computers are? You are going or should I?
and is it okay for informational gain
Yeah, go
to
ahead.
be promotional or soft selling, adding case studies from customers as examples? Actually, actually, whether or not it is an informational gain score or not, but it is a necessity to include the promotional material. There is no harm in adding commercial content promotion on our informational page. The sole purpose, one of the purposes of publishing informational content is to shift audience from informational to commercial pages. So it is a transition of user journey from shifting them from informational intent to the commercial one. They might need that service or promotion, so there is no harm. But still, when you mention your commercial intent or you do promotion of your services or any commercial intent, you provide information in semantic triples. It will add the total number of semantic triples available in the document, and it will be a small quality signal for search engines. So don't worry much about this commercial part. on a page. Yes, Kamuna.
Go ahead. Yeah, I think you can come to the last question. Lulu has one,
Where is
and
it?
then we can wrap at the end of the chat. Just scroll down completely.
At the end of the chat, uh, I am seeing a Neil. Okay, maybe lexical path analyzer. Okay, Imamul Muttaqin said maybe lexical path analyzer by Kore Tuba Gubur. Yes, that GPT just shows the hypernyms, lexical relations, and it helps you understand. Okay, this is the parent topic, this is the child topic. Okay, these are the related topics, these are the equivalent topics. It's very helpful. Anil is asking, do we later able to understand in practical that with the demo website to reduce cost of retrieval? Yes, Kamuna will show you everything for reducing cost of retrieval. Just get prepared and ready. If
Hey,
user convert, yes,
just
please.
want to add this thing. We are not doing any demo website or not gonna start a website and show you how it goes through the whole journey. Don't expect that. We will just show you the principles as I wrote this in the chat. Just gonna be principles and examples of how it's done.
Just a local intent in our local Hindi we say oh dar gaya hi. So Kahuna is afraid he is not he is not agreeing to take burden of show some demonstration website. Actually, this is a lot of work. But while creating topical map and content briefs, we will rigorously discuss why we are doing this step just to reduce the cost of retrieval. So I mentioned in that sense, while doing topical map and content briefs, we will mention why this step will help in cost of reducing cost of retrieval. This step is for this purpose and why we are doing this and why we are doing that. So if user convert into informational blog, then Google will able to that content terminus, then it's harmful or bad signal. If user convert into informational blog, then Google will able to that, and he'll unable to understand what you are trying to convey.
Yeah, I would like to ask if a user or our website user just read the informational blog, I mean landed to our informational topic or blog page, and
Okay,
then after reading the informational blog content, he just converted with our CTA, which is uh, a CTA which is just to convert them, uh, and then that is that signal Google will understand that that informational blog was the content terminus state for that user. So it will be a bad signal or it will be harmful, as content terminus, before content terminus, I checked the module and I found that uh, a Google will able to uh, give initial or re-ranking state when uh, multiple query path is multiple query path signal has given, and then content terminus signal after query path. So, and in a single informational blog content terminus state has met, but no more query path has before that content terminus.
okay. So the main concept here is why search engine is ranking pages to satisfy the ultimate intent of target audience. If a person converts from your informational page, it is already a positive signal from your informational page. It is a positive signal from your website that it served the purpose and the user got what it is supposed to get from your website. It is a positive signal that your website is a functional website that is actually fulfilling the ultimate need of the target audience. So when a user has fulfilled its main intent that you are providing a product and it has converted a service, it has got or bought. No need the any score of your page. Your purpose is served, user purpose is served. Then prepare for land attracting another user on your page for next conversion. So don't worry about that. It's a quality signal when it has converted. So Google is noticing each action of a user on a page, from which page it went to where, with which element user interacted, on which section user stayed. Like in my 2024 algorithm leaks, there is a image dwell time. There is an attribute image dwell time. It is a quality signal. Search engine is noticing and recording with which image on a page user was interacting for a longer time. So everything on each section a user is staying on your page, it is a quality signal. No need to overcomplicate this thing. Yes, Kamala.
Okay. Nothing. I'm just stopping the recording. I think that's all. Or do we have more?
No, that's all for today. If you